My greetings to everyone. I am Professor Namita Rajput in Department of Commerce, Sri Aurobindo College, University of Delhi. In the ongoing series of Principles of Marketing, today we will be talking more on pricing methods, pricing strategies, the product life cycle and the pricing. So let's see the classification of the pricing methods. Out of this, the first we are going to discuss is your cost-oriented pricing. The cost-oriented pricing involves setting the prices based on the cost of production, distribution, and selling of a product. This approach ensures that the company covers its cost and earns a profit. It is definitely suitable for the business with relatively stable cost structure and where the cost recovery is very critical, like manufacturing or commodity-based industries. It may not take into account the customer demand or willingness to pay. So it's important to consider the market factors also. So that is the suitability part of it. So we will be discussing not only the method or the classification but also its suitability. The second we are going to talk about is a markup pricing. The markup pricing involves adding a standard markup to the cost of a product to determine its selling price. This method is very simple to implement and provides a very consistent profit margin. The classification of pricing methods. It is actually suitable for the business with a relatively stable cost structure and where the pricing pressure from the competitors is not intense. However, it may not reflect the changes in the market conditions or the customer preferences. So it's important to monitor the pricing regularly. Now, we are also going to discuss on the marginal cost pricing. The marginal cost pricing involves the setting prices on an additional cost of producing one more unit of a product. Now, this method aims to maximize the contribution of each unit sold towards covering the fixed cost and generating the profit. It is suitable for the business with a high fixed cost and the low variable cost, like the software or the entertainment. It may not be suitable for the industries with the complex cost structures or where the pricing is very heavily influenced by the market demand. Now, there is a classification called target return pricing. The target return pricing involves setting prices to achieve a very specific return on the investment or the profit margin. The companies using this approach, it will determine the desired level of the profit and then set the prices to achieve that target. This method is actually suitable for the long-term strategic pricing decisions and for the business with the specific profit targets. However, it requires a good understanding of the cost structure and the market conditions to ensure the target can be realistically achieved. The break-even pricing is another classification of the pricing method which involves the setting prices to cover all cost and reach the break-even point, where the total revenue equals the total cost. After reaching the break-even point, additional sales contribute to the profit. So this method is actually suitable for understanding the minimum sales volume required to avoid the losses. And it is particularly very useful for the new products or the business. However, it may not consider the full range of the market conditions and the competitive pressures. Now we have another very interesting way called early cash recovery pricing. As the name suggests, early cash recovery involves setting the higher prices initially to recover the investment cost quickly. This method is often used for the products with a very limited sales window or a short product life cycle. And also, it is suitable for the business with a high initial investment cost or where the rapid recovery of the investment is very crucial. However, it may not be suitable for the products in highly competitive markets where the price sensitivity is very high. Each of these pricing methods has its own advantages and the limitations. And the most suitable method for a product business will depend on the factors like industry, competitive landscape, cost structure, and the target market. The companies often use a combination of these methods to optimize their pricing strategies and achieve their financial objectives. Now, the market-oriented pricing methods. Now, these methods are very strategic, and they are called as the strategies that consider the external market factors like the customer demand, the competitive pricing when setting the prices of the products or the services. Now, these methods focus on aligning the prices with the customer perception of the value and the market conditions to maximize the profitability and the competitive advantage. The market-oriented pricing methods, along with their suitability in the different business scenarios. Now, we will be talking on the differential pricing. Differential pricing involves setting different prices for the same product or the services based on the various factors such as the customer segment, location, time of purchase, and the quantity purchased. This particular method is actually suitable for the business operating in diverse markets with varying levels of price sensitivity. It allows the companies to capture the different levels of customer surplus and maximize the overall revenue. However, implementing and managing the differential pricing can be very complex, and the business must be mindful of potential business backslash if pricing strategies are perceived as unfair. Then we have a time-based pricing. The time-based pricing involves adjusting the prices based on the time of purchase or consumption. This can include the strategies like dynamic pricing, seasonal pricing, or time-limited promotions. Now, it is actually suitable for the business in industries where demand fluctuates over time, such as hospitality, travel, and entertainment. The time-based pricing allows the companies to capitalize on the peak demand periods and optimize the revenue. It requires actually a very careful monitoring of the market conditions and the consumer behavior to set appropriate pricing levels. The customer segment pricing. The customer segment pricing involves setting the different prices for the different customer groups based on the factors like demographics, purchasing behavior, willingness to pay, and this method is actually suitable for the business with diverse customer segments and varying levels of the price sensitivity. It allows the companies to capture additional value from the different customer groups and tailoring the pricing strategies to the specific market segments. However, the business must be mindful of the potential business segmentation and the discrimination concerns. Now we have a very interesting type of pricing strategy, that is the local and the location-based pricing. The location-based pricing involves setting the price based on the geographic location of the consumer or the point of sale. This can actually include the strategies like the regional pricing, country-specific pricing, or the proximity-based pricing. Now, it is actually suitable for the business operating in multiple markets with varying economic conditions and the competitive landscapes. This location-based pricing, it allows the companies to adapt to a local market dynamics and optimize their pricing strategies for the different regions. However, it requires a very careful consideration of the local market conditions and the consumer behavior. Product form pricing is another important aspect. The product form pricing involves setting the different prices for the variations of a product or the service, such as different sizes, versions, packaging options. So this method is very suitable for the business with the product lines that offers the variations to meet the different customer needs. The classification of the pricing methods. The product form pricing, it allows the companies to capture additional value from the customers who are willing to pay more for the premium or the specialized product options. However, the business must carefully manage the consumer perceptions of the value and avoid cannibalization of the sales across the different product variations. Now, each of these market-oriented pricing, what we have discussed, they offer the market and the business the flexibility to adapt their pricing strategies to a very specific market condition, customer segments, and the product offerings. By implementing these methods thoroughly, the companies can optimize their revenue and profitability while meeting the diverse needs of their customer base. However, it's very important and pertinent for the business to carefully consider the potential impact on the customer relationships and the market perceptions when implementing these pricing strategies. So let's discuss the pricing strategies one by one. The pricing strategies refers to the approach a business takes to set the prices of its products or the services. It encompasses the basic methods, the principles, the tactics used to determine the optimal price points that will help the business achieve its financial goals while effectively meeting the customer demand and the competitive pressures. Now, these pricing strategies are actually very essential for the business to maximize the revenue, maintain the profitability, and gain a competitive edge in the market. Now, some of the common pricing strategies include the cost-based pricing, when prices are set based on the production and distribution cost. The value-based pricing, while considers the perceived value of the product or the service to the customer. The competition-based pricing, where prices are influenced by the prices charged by the competitors. The dynamic pricing, while adjust the prices in the real time based on the market demand and other factors. So additionally, the business may also use some strategies like skimming prices, penetration prices, premium prices, the price bundling to achieve the specific objectives in the different market scenarios. And ultimately, a well-defined pricing strategy is very crucial for the business to effectively position their product or the services in the market, attract the customers and optimize the revenue and the profitability. So we will be now discussing about what is pricing penetration. The price penetration is also known as penetration pricing, is a pricing strategy in which a company initially sets up a very low cost for a product or a service to quickly gain or have a large market share and attract the customers. Now, the goal of the penetration pricing is actually to stimulate the demand, effectively entering into the market and gaining a competitive advantage. By offering a lower price than its competitor, a company employing a penetration pricing aims to encourage the customers to switch from existing products or to attract the new customers who are price sensitive. Now, this strategy can be very particularly effective in actually the market with elastic demand, where the customers are highly responsive to the price changes. The potential benefits of this penetration pricing include the rapid market adoption, increase in the sales volume, and the opportunity to build the brand loyalty amongst the early adapters. However, it may also lead to a lower initial profit margins, and the company must have a plan to eventually increase the prices once it has established a strong market position. So overall, we can say the penetration pricing is very strategic approach under and used by the business to gain the market share and establish a foothold in a competitive market, with an exception of achieving the long-term profitability as the business grows and matures. Next we talk about is a price skimming. The price skimming is a pricing strategy where a company initially sets up a relatively high price for a product or a service and then gradually lowers the price over the time. This strategy is often used when a company introduces a new and an innovative product actually in the market. Now, the high initial price allows the company to skim off the highest earning customers, typically those who are willing to pay a premium to have the latest and the best product. As the time passes and the market becomes more saturated, the company gradually reduces the price or to attract more price sensitive customers, which will allow the company to maximize the revenue by capturing the different segments of the market at actually a different price points. So price skimming can be an effective strategy for the companies that have invested heavily in the research and development and need to recoup those costs quickly. However, it carries the risk of alienating the potential customers who are unwilling to pay the initial high price, as well as the potential backslash if the price drops too quickly, causing the early adapters to feel they are overpaid. So overall, the price skimming can be an effective way to maximize the revenue from the different market segments over time, but it requires a very careful planning and execution to be successful. Now, the premium pricing is another pricing strategy. Let's see what it is. The premium pricing is a strategy in which a company sets up a high price for its product or the services to convey the image of exclusivity, the high quality, or the luxury. Now, this strategy is often used when a company wants to position its offering as superior to its competitor's product or the wishes to create a perception of the value and prestige amongst the consumers. The companies that employ a premium pricing typically invest in creating a strong brand image, emphasizing a unique feature and benefits of their products and providing the exceptional customer service and support. So by pricing their products at a premium, these companies seek to attract the customers who are willing to pay more for the perceived higher quality, superior performance, or the status associated with owning that product. While the premium pricing can actually lead to a higher profit margins and enhance a company's brand image also, it also carries the risk of alienating the price-sensitive customers and facing the increased competition for the lower price alternatives. So additionally, we can say that the companies must ensure that the products or the services they truly deliver the quality and the value actually expected by the customers who are willing to pay a premium price. So overall, we can say that the premium pricing can be an effective strategy for the companies that can actually differentiate their offerings in the market and create a strong perception of the value and exclusivity among their target customers. So it requires a very clear understanding of the target market and a commitment for delivering on the promises of the premium quality and also the experience. Now we talk about the promotional pricing. Promotional pricing is a market strategy wherein a company temporarily reduces the prices of its product or the services to stimulate the sales and attract the customers. This approach is commonly employed during the specific period like holidays, seasonal events, product launches, or to clear out the excessive inventory. So these are the common types of promotional pricing, including the discounting pricing, bundle pricing, loss leader pricing, the coupons and rebates, and the limited time offers. Each of these tactics, they aim to entice the customers by offering the products at the reduced prices or actually providing some additional values. So we have to see which strategy suits us, what is the company's long-term orientation, whether we are interested in the pricing strategy of the skimming or putting a least cost in the beginning. You want to penetrate the pricing, allows an initial skim or an initial penetration, depending upon how the company is moving on with the sensitive customers, want to deal with the overall cost-effective aspects of the customers, or probably want to be a market leader soon. So basically, these pricing strategies, they aim to actually target the potential customers and actually move on with the early adapters or the late adapters, as the case may be, in order to maximize the revenue from the different market segments over time. So it requires a very careful planning and also the execution in this regard. So the premium pricing can lead to high profit margins and also increase the brand image and overall aspects in relation to promotional market, which is very seasonal. So you need to have whether you want to introduce it during the holiday season, seasonal season, etc., or you want to do away with some additional inventories. Thank you so much.